Hi, this is Trinisha Cottrell, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome to First Love Yourself, where love, Christ, and life combine. Oh my gosh, you can tell it's getting late because I was like, I'm so grateful to have you here with me tonight. And I just, I don't have a title today. So we are going to just do a rant. And okay, let's not call it a rant. This will be something that is encouraging that will hopefully help you. But before we get started, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on more empowering, uplifting content. So get comfortable because we are about to get into it. Let's go. So today was a really, really interesting day. I I waited last minute to do a bunch of things that I needed to do, but everything fell into place exactly like it should have. It's so funny because whenever I start to doubt God, I always remember the things that He brought me through in the past. And sometimes, all of the time, for me, I don't know if it's this way for other people, it never makes any sense. God just does what He does. He does it effortlessly, He does it strategically. He does it so well that I don't even know how I'm going to catch up with Him. And I never could because by the time I try to figure out plan A, God's on plan Z. He already knew what my plan was for my life before I was formed in my mother's womb. He knew me before I was formed in my mother's womb. He knows every hair on my head, every hair on your head. God is so intentional with the things that He does in life. Sometimes we can try to guess how we think our life is going to go, and we feel like we need to have this blueprint, we need to have this plan of everything that God is going to do in order for us to move. But you don't understand that God is already moving on our behalf. All we have to do is take a step forward and allow Him to just do the things that it is that He needs us to do. Like I said, I didn't plan anything. I just finished doing my hair because I was like, I gotta do something with it. So I put these jumbo twists in with the little, I did some like spiraling at the bottom just to like give it some juice. So I just finished doing that and I was about to get ready for bed. And, I was like, no, I gotta hop on here because this is day 10 of, 30 of live. And I needed to make sure I was here because every day I learn something new. And I feel like if God taught me something and He wants me to share it with you, then I need to be here to share it. I can't just hold that in for myself because I'm a true believer that if you learn something, you have to implement it in your life and you have to share it with other people so that they can win as well. If you see like water spots, it's because I dipped the bottom so that I could have the curls. That's why it's like wet here and here and here. But that's neither here nor there. But as I was doing my hair, I was like, okay, God told me to go to this thing. And I don't like to say God told me because a lot of people use that. But you can kind of feel when the Holy Spirit wants you to do things and when He doesn't by using discernment. And so I'm supposed to be at this thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. And it's just like out of nowhere, everything just fell into place, just like that, just so effortlessly. Everything that God does is so effortless. When it's God, it just flows. You don't have to force, like, and I don't know about relationships or whatever else, but I would gather if you're in a relationship, it just feels like it flows. You're not trying to force someone to see the value in you, they do. You don't have to try to force someone to want to spend time with you, they already want to do that. You don't have to force someone to care about what it is that makes you happy because they do, because they value you as a person, because it flows. It's just natural. It's not something that you have to be. You don't have to prove anything to anybody else. You just have to be who you are. And that's good enough for God. It's good enough for yourself. So it should be good enough for the person who's trying to get to know you or be in a relationship with you or marry you, whatever it is, right? And that's how it was for my job. That's how it is at different places that I worked at. That's how it is with my family, everything. It just seems like when God is in it, there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. And it starts to make me think about when I was younger and I used to feel like, oh, if this person has this thing, that means I can't have it. It's so funny how we get this scarcity mindset in life. Like we're going to be missing out on something. And we can never lose out on anything that God set forth for us. There's nothing that someone else can get that will take away from what it is that God has for you. Always remember that. Always know that everything that God has for you is specifically made just for you. It doesn't matter if it's you and 12 other people. God is going to make sure you get your place at the table. God is going to make sure that you get all of the things that He has set forth for you. There is nothing that you have to do extra. You don't have to be doing the most. You literally just have to be yourself at your best. And everything that you desire, everything that you want will be given unto you for those that are called according to His purpose. I had to throw that in there because, we like to say these little quotes and stuff and make it seem like it's just easy. 1, 2, 3. No, you got to have intentionality. You need to be obedient. And you also have to know that He is God. The moment that you humble yourself, you seek His face and turn from your wicked ways, God just comes right on through. And I know I talk about God a lot, but I can't imagine my life without Him because when I was living a different type of lifestyle, I used to always try to seek something that was going to fill a God-sized hole in my soul. And there was nothing that could ever fill that. There's no person, place, or thing that was ever good enough that would have been able to make me feel peace and joy in my life. There was nothing that gave me contentment like God. There's nothing that made me feel more secure than being in God's presence or allowing God to have His hand in my life, because God is not going to force His way in. He's a gentleman. He's the type of God who is going to make sure that you actually want to come to Him because you have free will. You have to actually say, okay, God, I give you everything. I give you all of the things that I'm worried about. I give you all of the things that I'm going through, and I trust you. I believe that when you say your word, when you say that you got this, when you say that you got me, when you say that if I get rid of this, you're going to fulfill it with more. What is it? Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. God literally always comes through. There's nothing that I could ever want for my life because I have everything that I need, and everything else that's added to it is bonus. Sometimes I'll be so blessed. I'll be crying. Like, I don't cry in front of other people, but like when I'm by myself or I'm doing one of these videos, that's my cry session. I'll allow myself to cry hard. That's probably why I don't cry in front of other people, because I literally get it all out. And so while I'm crying, I'm just like, okay, God, this is too much. I'm going to accept it because it's from you. But like sometimes it just feels like it's so much, so many blessings. I never could have even imagined God would allow. I could have never imagined God would come through like He does in my life, with the people, with the places, with the things that He allowed me to experience. It's just, I can't even I can't even put in words how amazing God is. I wish every person could feel this feeling. I wish every person could have the peace and joy unspeakable, the peace that surpasses all understanding. I wish every person could understand what it's like to be in God's presence. Because I promise you, when you feel His presence, you don't ever want to go back to the way that you used to live. It feels silly now thinking about how I used to think those things would ever fulfill me. But when you don't know God, when you don't know what it's like to have God in your life, you have nothing to compare it to. And it's so funny because all you have to do is just call out to Him. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to seek Him and He will be right there. God will not turn His back on you. He loves you exactly as you are. He wants you to come to Him so that He can help you. And you can't just lie about it. You can't be like, oh no, God, I'm good. You got to be like, God, look, I'm struggling hard in this area. I need you. Help me. And God will literally come through every single time. I promise you that. There's not one moment in my life where I called out to God and He did not come. Every time I humble myself and I tell God where I'm broken, where I'm hurting, where things in my life haven't happened the way that I want them to, or the desires of my heart, even if it hasn't happened yet and I'm struggling because it's hard, God is literally right there comforting me. He allows people to be a part of my life to comfort me in that season. He allows me to be able to not have to go it alone because I have a great A-team. He gives me everything that I need so that I will be content in that season while I'm waiting for His promise. So I know it wasn't about a lot, but definitely comment below if you know in your heart that everything is going to be okay. Just put a like, put a heart, whatever else it is. And the love symbolizes God. And that just shows that you're trusting Him for whatever it is that you pray for, whatever it is that you want in your life. And you know that although you might have went the wrong way, you might have had your own thing going on. You might have been like, all right, I'm gonna do all of these things and then come back to God. Listen, you don't have to be perfect. Always remember that God will accept you exactly the way that you are. So put a heart emoji and definitely subscribe. Hit the like button, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good